Hey guys, welcome back to the I Don't Even Know podcast. I am Em. I hope you're doing well. Today, I'm here to talk about my favorite things in pop culture of 2024 because it is New Year's Eve. I hope you guys are having a good New Year's Eve and have a great New Year's, whenever you're listening to this. But I did this last year for 2023, of course, and I had fun. So I thought I would do it again, especially because it has been a good-ass year in music, and it's been a good-ass year in TV shows and, with me watching them. So, I want to do it. So I'm going to go through my favorite music releases of this year, shows I've watched, not shows that have been released. So, some of these might be old as hell, but, shows I've watched, and then movies that have been released this year. Not just watched, because I watched a ton of old movies this year. But, movies that were released this year. And the movie list isn't as long, because I am behind, and I don't watch a lot of movies. For example, I have not watched The Notebook yet. That shows how behind I am. And I'm very tempted to watch it tonight. But then, like I said, it is New Year's Eve when I'm recording this, and I tend to watch depressing things going into the new year for some reason. It's not really on purpose, it just happens, and I always start the new year crying. I've been doing that for the past few years. 2020 started bawling my ass out because I finished The Vampire Diaries, and I mean bawling, sobbing like a maniac. 2021, I didn't necessarily start the new year. January 1st at night, 11 o'clock January 1st, I finished Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, season 4, which was the final season. Bawled like a baby, I literally could not breathe out of my nose. See, 2022, I almost said season 2. 2022, I don't know what the fuck I finished, but I know I finished something. I finished a show. Don't remember necessarily what it was in the moment, but I finished it and I remember crying. I think that was a couple hours into the new year though. Or no, it was an hour. 1 a.m. And then 2023, I started the year, this was at 1 a.m, watching Avengers Endgame. And because Tony Stark is my husband, you can imagine how that went. And I literally have pictures of myself bawling my eyes out. And then last year I didn't. Thankfully, I wasn't attached yet to the show I was watching. But, I always start crying over shows and shit. And I'm tempted to watch The Notebook tonight, because I need to watch it. And also just to feel some shit. But I also think I need to start off the new year on a good note, because 2024 kicked me in the fucking rear end. It was rough as hell. I don't want to go through it again. So I feel like we need to start the new year off good. So I might not watch it. But anyways, that's besides the point. So I'm going to get into it now. Some of my favorite things. I'm really excited because I love talking about this stuff. Okay, so for music, my favorites. I don't know how many I'm going to say. Probably my top 5, I'll say, or maybe a couple. I don't know. We'll figure this out. But with music, like I said, it's been a good year. Pop music and just music in general has not been hitting this hard in a while. I don't know what was going on this year, but music was musicking. People were dropping my faves, were dropping left and right. They were having a fight in my Apple Music replay to see who was number 1. Of course, Sabrina was number 1, for everything. No surprise there, if I'm being honest. That is my girly. And she's been my girly for 10 years. So, was I surprised? No. But people were giving her a run for her money up there. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm eating an apple. I just woke up. But with, other music, it was a good year. I don't think 2025 is gonna hit the same with music. Like, it was just that year. 2024 was just that year in music. Like, we had such big hits, like, crazy moments. It kind of felt like we were back in 2010, in a way, from the way we were having so many pop stars. Like, so many. Like, we haven't had this kind of pop, like, these kind of pop stars in a while. And I feel like that's what made it so good. And that's why I'm so excited to talk about it. So, it's a couple of my favorite releases this year. With albums, of course, because I brought her up, Sabrina Carpenter, we have to talk about Short and Sweet, because, oh my gosh, that is my most played album of the year. Espresso is my most played song, and of course, she's my most played artist. Like, shocking? No. Like, I don't know what the hell she put in that album. It is pure crack. I cannot stop listening to it. I think it's unhealthy. Like, you would think about, like, the amount I've listened to it by now, that I would be sick of it. And I think majority would. I'm not. Like, I don't know what she did to make it so addicting. And, like, one thing about me, to be fair, is I don't get sick of a Sabrina album. Like, I've listened to all her albums, like, thousands of times. I haven't gotten sick of any of them. And I just think for Short and Sweet, it's just a good pop record, and we haven't had a solid good pop record in a while. And I think that's also why it did so well commercially and, like, everyone loved it, was because it's been a while since we had, like, this kind of pop. Like, she's bringing fun pop back. Like, it kind of felt like 2010s pop in a way, and I feel like that's what Katy Perry was trying to do with, what is the album even called? Clearly, I don't care enough because I don't know what it's called. Isn't it like 7, 1, 2, 3? No, that is not what it's called. What is... I'm going to look it up. Katy Perry. 143. And then her deluxe is 1432. I heard shitty things about her deluxe, to be fair. And the whole album in general. So I haven't listened to 143. And I feel like Katy Perry, or at least what a couple people thought, because I had this conversation with my brother, when it comes to Woman's World, we feel like she was trying to go back to, like, Teenage Dream and give us that type of music, which if she was, she failed. And here's the thing, I don't know necessarily if Teenage Dream would have done as well as it did back then if it was released now. You know, I feel like the timing was right when she released Teenage Dream. And it was such a moment. Obviously, like, Teenage Dream, still to this day, one of the best pop albums of all time. Incredible, show-stopping, insane. And with Short and Sweet, I think it kind of reminded us of 2010s pop, or at least it did for me, but with a twist on it for now. Like, it had different things that worked with today's day, you know, in, like, this year, which 143, or at least Women's World, didn't. I have not listened to 143 yet, probably never will. And I remember my brother said at one point when we were talking about Katy, it's like, sometimes, like, if you, like, when you fall off and, like, you stop being as popular, you just kind of need to move on. Like, so many people try to go back to, like, what they were doing before, and it just doesn't work out because it's just not the time anymore. I don't know. I just think Short and Sweet was perfect for this time. Had some of, like, the old pop and, like, reminded us of 2010s pop with stuff from now. And I think it helped with her humor, her vocals. I mean, one thing about Sabrina, and people tend to, like, downplay her vocals, and it pisses me off. The girl can sing. She can sing. Like, I went to the Short and Sweet tour. I also went to Emails I Can't Send. And I saw her before that. I don't even remember what it was, but I saw her a couple years ago too. Like, she can sing, like, so well. Like, she is such a great vocalist, and I see, like, people ranking, like, this generation pop stars, and she's always pretty low, or way lower than she should be. Like, she should be basically on the top of the list. Like, her vocals are no joke, and I think this album, like, my mom even talked about this, because my mom likes Sabrina a lot, and she knows Sabrina can sing, because she's seen it, and, like, she's heard videos. Like, she can sing, we know this, but this album, it doesn't really showcase her vocals as well as it could, because this year pop, or, like, pop now, you kind of have, a lot of people have this, like, airiness, and that's what's popular, and so that's what she's kind of doing. But, like, if you listen to Singular Act 1 and 2, you know she can sing. And there are some songs in this that, like, showcase her vocals. And, like, you can hear her runs and you hear all that. But, like, she is a vocalist. And even though, like, it does showcase some of her vocals, I mean, her, like, in Bedchem when she was imitating the instruments and doing all those runs. Like, you could tell she can sing. Like, she can sing. But people tend to downplay her, and it pisses me off. Like, everything about Short and Sweet, insane. And I'm so happy about, like, Espresso getting its flowers, because this just helped her so much. And, like, I've been waiting for the day that Sabrina became a main pop girly, and I cannot believe we actually made it. Like, when you think of 2024, you're gonna think of Sabrina Carpenter. I don't make the rules. Like, that's what you're gonna think. The fact that some people don't think Espresso was the song of the year, actually insane to me. Like, it was everywhere. Everywhere. Like, that really is the song of the year. Like, the record she broke. Like, we haven't had a good, like, not album release, but, like, a good, what's it called, rollout in a while. And, like, she gave it to us. Because we had Espresso, huge, huge hit, insane. Please, 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 again, insane. And then Taste. Like, we haven't had, like, that good of a single rollout, I think, since Olivia for Sour. Like, because then that was Driver's License, Deja Vu, Good For You. Like, we haven't had a good single rollout. I think since then. There might be another one I can't think of. But, like, she really did the damn thing. And, like, when I was listening to Please, 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 I was like, okay, this is for sure going to be the song of the... I mean, not song of the year. The album of the year. And she's going to get her Grammys. She's finally going to get her flowers, which she's been deserving. Because, here's the thing. As much as I love Short and Sweet, and how much I played it, like, I think that is probably my most played album of all time at this point, or at least one of them. Emails I Can't Send is still my favorite album of hers, and I'm still pissed off that you guys did not give her its flowers. Like, or her flowers. Emails I Can't Send, perfection all around, and I think the reason I love it more is because it's more personal, and I love that, and it really showcased her songwriting. And when, like, they're doing those ranking of pop stars, I feel like if they listened to Emails I Can't Send and really digested it and just, like, really listened, she would be higher on the lyrics. Because, yeah, in Short and Sweet, her lyrics are kind of, like, a little bit fun. There are some deep lyrics and crazy lyrics in there. Like, Dumb and Poetic. In Lie to Girls, Don't Smile. Like, oh my gosh, Sharpest Tool. Juno. That's not as deep, but it's just genius. Like, Bedchem is fucking genius. Like, let's be real. But, like, those songs, you listen to them, and you're like, wow. Like, it really showcases her songwriting. But I think Emails I Can't Send does it even more. Like, she's a lyricist. Like, she's a songwriter. She is everything. And I'm so happy people finally gave her flowers, and she will be taking home Grammys. I'm ready for her to sweep at the Grammys. Like, I am ready. She better, gosh. I'm gonna kill everyone if she doesn't. But, like, this alone, like, it's like one of like the best albums of the year. Like, let's be real. I'm going to be honest though, it is not my favorite album released this year, even though it is my most played, because my favorite album released this year is probably Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish. That album is literally insane. Oh my gosh, specifically Wildflower. I listen to that every day and I just sob. There is something about that song that I just literally lay in my bed, stare at the ceiling, and cry. I don't know what she put in it. It's so good. So good. And here's the thing. Billie, I don't think has yet to miss with an album. I love all her projects, like her EP, her debut, sophomore album, like everything was so incredible. But this takes the cake. Like, as much as I love her other projects, this one is her best. And I stand by that until the day I die. Until she releases a better record, to be fair. But I don't know if she will. Like, I loved When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? I loved Happier Than Ever. I love the EP. I don't know why I can't think of the title of the EP right now, even though I was literally listening to it 3 hours ago. I'm such an idiot. I don't know what the fuck. But there's something about Hit Me Hard and Soft. And I'm still mad at that Swiftologist TikTok person, which I like, shout out to them for being a Swiftie, but for saying this is a flop. Since when is Hit Me Hard and Soft a flop? Like, the first time I heard it, I died and came back to life. Like, I'm so serious. I remember laying in my bed listening to it for the first time, getting ready to go on a trip, or like mentally preparing to go on a trip, because I was supposed to be in bed because I had to wake up really early to go to the airport. I remember I was like laying there, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what the hell is this? Like, I felt like a different person. It was like I was levitating. Like, there's something so like haunting about the production, lyrics of some of the songs. Some of them are just like pure crack. But like, when I think of Skinny, Wildflower, Blue, The Greatest. Oh my gosh, The Greatest. Oh my gosh. It's just like, those are my favorites, by the way. Like, all the other songs, incredible. But something about those that like make me feel like I am levitating and I'm on the verge of death. In a good way. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's just, that album really did it for me. Especially because, like, we waited 3 years for a new Billie album. Which, like, isn't that crazy, because we've been waiting for a new Rihanna album for nearly 9 years. But I had been so desperate for Billie's album. So desperate. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and I was ready for it to drop. And I was expecting incredible things, because Billie and Phineas are geniuses. So incredible, and I love how they only work together, and they stay true to themselves, and no matter how big they get. Like, I love that. But I was not expecting it to be this insane. Like, I remember my brother was listening to it on the plane for the first time, because he wanted to, like, really digest it. And when we landed, he was like, yeah, that is her best project. I'm like, exactly. Thank you. Because I was hearing some people say it's not. Which, like, of course, you can have your own opinions. Yes. But the fact that people were putting this, like, the lowest on their ranking was crazy to me. It's like, why do you think this perfection is bad? Like, production, the lyrics, her vocals were insane. Like, her vocals really came to play. Like, she showed everyone that I can sing. Because I know a lot of people see her as just a whisperer. I don't, or like, not really that, but like breathy, and doesn't really, like, isn't really a singer. And she's really just a songwriter and a storyteller, which she is. But her vocals were so good. Oh my gosh. She really showed all, y'all. And I'm so happy. And she, just like Sabrina, will be taking Grammys. Like, this is the issue. Like, what I'm thinking about right now. And I talked about this in the Grammy nominations episode I did. All my favorites are nominated. So I'm going to get fucked over. Like, literally fucked over. Like, I'm nervous. Because I said Sabrina's going to sweep and she better. Which I still stand by that. But I need Billie to take Album of the Year. Because to me, this is the Album of the Year. Like, even though I played Short and Sweet more, Hit Me Hard and Soft is my favorite album released this year 100%. And I think the reason I played Short and Sweet more was because, yes, it's addicting. I mean, both of them are. But also, it's not as depressing. Like, yes, I cried at Dumb and Poetic, Don't Smile, Lie to Girl, Sharpest Tool. Yeah, of course, I do. But I bawl my eyes out listening to Wildflower, listening to Skinny, listening to The Greatest, listening to Blue, listening to even Birds of a Feather. So, like, I listen to Short and Sweet more because it's more fun. But this is my album of the year. And I need it to take it. Please, Grammys, don't do me dirty. And I don't think they will. I mean, they did Billie dirty in 2022 when she didn't win any Grammys for Happier Than Ever, which was crazy. Like, that song alone should have won all the Grammys. Happier Than Ever is like pure crack. The whole album's incredible, but specifically the song is insane, and it should have won. So I'm expecting Billie to take Album of the Year, and I think Birds of a Feather might take Record of the Year or Song of the Year. I don't know, because I'm trying to think of which one Espresso's nominated for, because Espresso is either Record of the Year or Song of the Year, and Please 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 is the other one, because I think whatever Espresso's nominated for in with Song or Record, it's gonna win that, but I think the other one, Birds of a Feather, is gonna win, and it should. It's so good. So good. Like, oh my gosh. Like, that song, with every song on that album, to be fair, has crack in it. Like, I'm so serious. It's like, I die every time I hear it. I want you to stay. I cannot sing, by the way, so please don't kill me. Like, that was awful. But every time I hear that, I literally die. Like, perfection. So good. And I know Birds of a Feather and Espresso are fighting right now to be the most streamed song of the year. And I'm going to be honest, I want it to be Espresso just because of how big that was. And it was such a moment. But then again, I want to be mad about Birds of a Feather because it's Billie. And that album is perfection. So, I don't know. So, next one. Which is probably my third favorite album. Or not third favorite album. Second favorite album released this year. Because I think Short and Sweet's number 3. Or it's like somewhere around then. So, next one. Eternal Sunshine by my girl. My baby girl, Ariana Grande. I am still so pissed off that it is not nominated for any of the big awards. Like, Best Pop Vocal Album, yes, it is. But Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, it should have been nominated for something, okay? And I'm so serious when I say I would have rather Eternal Sunshine be nominated than, please don't kill me, Cowboy Carter and Tortured Poets. And here's the thing. Again, do not kill me because I am a Beyonce and Taylor lover. Like, those are my mothers. They raised me. I've been listening to them since I was like 4. Or not 4. 4? Yeah, 4. Sorry, I had to do the math quickly. I don't know why I was thinking 6, but then I was like, no, I listened to them in preschool. But, like, those are my mothers. They raised me. Adore them. But I liked Eternal Sunshine so much more than them. And I loved Cowboy Carter. I loved Tortured Poets. It was such a moment. But I would have rathered Eternal Sunshine be nominated. Like, my brother even said he would have wanted Eternal Sunshine to be over Tortured Poets. And he's a Taylor fan, too. It's like, when I saw Eternal Sunshine wasn't nominated, it's like, did we listen to the same album? Because it is 100% Ariana's best work. At least songwriting wise. It probably is my favorite Ariana album, or it's in the top 3 at least, because it's hard to beat Thank You Next and Sweetener. Like, it's really hard, but I think it's number 2, and it really is close to being number 1, to be fair. There is something just so incredible about it. Like, the production, incredible, but specifically the songwriting. And that's why I'm pissed off. We Can't Be Friends should have been nominated for Song of the Year and Record of the Year. The songwriting, perfection. Vocals, perfection. I mean, vocals is never a question with Ariana. We know girl can sing like no other. Literally the vocalist of our generation. Let's be real. And, like, the fact that that wasn't nominated, crazy. But it's like, when you listen to the album as a whole, it's so perfect. It flows so well. It really just showed her true potential. And that she doesn't just make pop, like, good, fun pop songs. Which we know she does, because, like, let's be real. Into You is one of the best pop songs of all time. And I stand by that. To this day. And I will probably until I die. Into You, one of the best pop best pop songs of all time. She literally did something. I don't know what she did, but, like, it's laced with something because it's that good. Like, I was listening to it in the shower yesterday, and that's literally the reason why it took me 30 minutes to shower. Also because I have really curly hair and lots of it, and so I really have to shampoo and condition a lot. But I was literally in there for 30 minutes with Into You on repeat because I, like, just can't get enough of it. Like, just jamming out. It's like, she knows how to make a good pop record, but this showed that she still does, because The Boy's Mind is that bitch. But also it shows she can be vulnerable, and she can write. Like, she can write. And, like, write these gut-wrenchingly beautiful songs about her experience. And she's, like, talked about in interviews that she's trying to, like, step away from, like, pop star Ariana, because she wasn't, like, it wasn't as personal to her. Like, some of the songs were, but it just wasn't her. And she's finally finding her true self. And she's healing. Like, Wicked helped her heal. And I wish the Grammys gave her flowers for that. But let's be real. The Grammys fucking hate Ariana. The fact that Thank You Next didn't win any Grammys was crazy. Like, as much as I adore Billie, like, Billie's one of my favorite artists right now. And I've been a fan of her since day one. Like, Ariana should have won something that year, okay? Like, yes, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Incredible debut, so good. But Thank You Next changed lives. Like, Thank You Next was that bitch. Like, when I think about good album rollouts, or, like, good singles, like, or successful singles, like I was when I was talking about, like, Sabrina and Olivia, I also think of Ariana with Thank You Next, 7 Rings, Break Up With Your Girlfriend on Board. Like, she broke some records, crazy records with that. And that didn't win. And, like, with that not winning just proves that they hate her. Like, how does Ariana only have 2 Grammys? And, like, most likely she is going to win another one with Eternal Sunshine. But I wouldn't put it past them to rob her. It's like, this is one of the best albums released this year. And she deserved her flowers for being so vulnerable and opening up. And, like, giving it to us while, like, working on Wicked. Even though Wicked was done filming when she released. But when she was recording it, they were on strike. And so Wicked was still going on. Like, the fact she actually gave it to us is crazy. And, like, it deserved more. Like, the Recording Academy sucks. Like, I have beef with the Recording Academy for many things, and Ariana being robbed is one of them. It probably takes the cake. Like, Eternal Sunshine was pure perfection, and I really hope it wins something. I think Ariana's going to win for the pop dance record, but then she's against Charlie, so I don't know, but I think she could win that for Yes And. And here's the thing. I think she could win for Best Pop Vocal, but because Sabrina's there, and Short and Sweet was so big, I am worried. But if they're really going based on vocals, it would go to Ariana. But usually they don't. Like, for example, last year, Midnight's won for pop vocal. And I love Midnight's, I do. And obviously, like I said, I love Taylor. But vocally, no. Like, I don't know what should have beat that. I don't know what was nominated, to be fair. I think I was rooting for Guts. But vocally, no, it shouldn't have won if they're talking best pop vocals. And same goes with in 2022 when best pop vocal went to Olivia. And yes, Sour was that bitch. Love Sour. I mean, I adore Olivia. But position should have won. If they're going with vocals, Ariana takes the cake. But they usually don't, and they also go just with like pop and like what did well. So I think Sabrina might have it in the bag, but and like I wouldn't be against it obviously, but I really want Ariana to win that so she wins something, because she was robbed. She's robbed like every fucking year at this point. It's like, what the hell do we have to do to give her flowers? I'm like, she deserves it for, like, what the fans have put her through. Like, some of y'all call yourself fans, and you'll, I can't talk. You guys suck. Like, the fact that people, like, stopped standing her because they were mad that she wasn't going to go on tour. Like, Ticketmaster was saying she was going to tour, and there were rumors. And then, like, somebody, a part of her label, confirmed they were false, and she's not touring this year. And they're like, she lied. She said she was going to tour. And she said, and I'm like, no, she said she was going to try. And, like, she wants to do, like, a mini tour, but because of Wicked, she probably can't. Most likely it's going to happen in 2026. Personally, I'm fine with it, because I want her to be happy. I want her to take her time. Wicked's doing so well right now. Let's focus on that. And also because she's working on the deluxe right now, and it's most likely to be released this year. Or technically next year. But let's focus on that. Also because I am broke, and there are people dropping concerts left and right. And, like, for example, Beyonce's apparently announcing a tour in a couple weeks. Like 2 weeks. And I need to be prepared for that. So, like, I'm fine with her waiting if it's what's best for her, because I know what she was put through last tour and how hard it was for her. So, personally, I'm fine with it. Also, it gives me time to save money. Because here's the thing. If she goes on tour and I do not get tickets, you will not hear from me ever again. I'm just saying. I will literally die. Because I've never left this girl. Like, some of y'all fake fans left her until Eternal Sunshine. Then we're like, oh, yeah. And came back and was like, yeah, I love her, like, this is great. Like, no, I have not left this girl. I've been here. Like, I had been waiting 4 years for her to come back after Positions. Like, I was sat there waiting. I was sat when she released Yes Dan. I remember screaming when I opened Instagram that morning to see that she was releasing it in a couple days. Died when she announced Eternal Sunshine. Like, that is my girl. Like, she deserves her flowers. Grammys, please fucking give it to her. Like, my girl for life. Okay. Anyways, moving on to another one. I feel like with albums this year, I need to talk about Tortured Poets. And here's the thing. It has grown on me a lot, and it is, like, up there in my top albums released this year. But it took some time. I don't know why it did, but when I listened to it for the first time, it was a lot to digest. Because I listened to, like, the regular, like, when it first released. And I was like, okay, this is good, but it's also, like, not my favorite. I think it was, like, hard to digest because it was also, like, 12 a.m. or it was like actually 11 p.m. I was tired. I was sleep deprived because I was like taking care of my dogs. And like I was just kind of out of it. And like when I was listening to it, it just felt not like the same song. It just felt very long. And for me, I know an album is good when it does not feel long. And like if like you know, and it just flows really nicely, and it did. But it just felt like a lot. And then, like, I remember I stayed up until 2 to see what the announcement was. And when I saw it, I was like, okay, we're going back to bed because I don't have time to listen to it. And then I listened to it when I woke up. And I liked the second half better. I like Anthropology better. And I was like, okay, like, it's good. And there were a couple songs on both I was like, yes to and no. Like, I was like, okay, yes and no. And, like, it's not like her songwriting wasn't good. Her songwriting is great. That's never a question. It's just, I don't know. Just something was missing in the moment for me. I just wasn't enjoying it as much. But then, I remember, I gave it some time to, like, digest. And I remember I listened to it again, like, 2 days after. Or, like, 3, like, when I was in class working on something. And I was like, okay. Yeah. Second time hits different. And each time I listen to it, since then, I've grown to like it even more. Is it in my top, like, 3 Taylor albums of all time? No. I don't think anyone's ever gonna crack Speak Now, Reputation, and Folklore. Like, I don't think so. But it's grown on me a ton. Like, a lot. I know still some people don't like it. I get that. But it has grown on me a lot. Is it my favorite album released this year? Obviously not. Is it my top 5? I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think it is, but, like, who the hell knows at this point? Because my top 3 are the albums this year are, like, the only ones that I know for sure that are up there. When I think about listening to it for the first time, I don't know. I just think it was so different than what I was expecting. As I was expecting some folklore type, which kind of was, but with some Reputation. Also, I was expecting Joe to be, like, the main character, and he wasn't. It was Matt. And here's the thing, I don't know what the issue is really with Matt, because I didn't pay attention to that man. I saw that they were apparently dating. I got the ick from him and moved on and just tried to distract myself from it. So, like, I don't really know what happened there. I know there's this whole lore about them that my mom was trying to talk to me about. Like, they got together before Joe, or, like, like when she was broken up with someone. Then they broke up, then tried to do it again. Then obviously it didn't work out. I don't really know what the hell she's on about there. She knows more about it than me. But I was expecting to get, like, Joe. And we did get some Joe songs. But I wasn't expecting that much about Matt. You know? So that was kind of like, ew. Like, when I listen to the album now, because I remember I listened to it last night, it's so good. Like, it really is a grower. And I think just when I listened to it for the first time, I was expecting something else, and it kind of threw me off. But, like, there are some good-ass songs on this, and some of her best written songs, I think. Like, her songwriting is never a joke. There are some lines that are, like, weird to me, but it's a great record. Like, the production's pretty good, specifically the songs with Aaron. I think, here's the thing, Jack is good, don't get me wrong, I love Jack, but I think Taylor's songs with Aaron are her best. That's what I think. But with this album, I just think for me it was a grower. And there are still songs I'm, like, not too fond of, in, like I said, lyrics, but overall I think it's great. Do I think it should win Album of the Year? No. I'm sorry. Do I think it could? Yeah, because it's Taylor. Here's the thing, if she wins Best Pop Vocal, that's where I will be pissed off. That's where I will throw some hands. Because I love her, but it should not win Pop Vocal. Pop Vocal is about vocals. And don't get me wrong, Taylor can sing. Like, she can. Is she the best vocalist? No, but she can sing. Not as well as some of the other people nominated. So I better see them pulling through as ever. Just saying. Okay. Another album released this year. This one is late. Or not late, but it was released recently. GNX by Kendrick Lamar. Of course, I had to talk about it. So for people who don't know, I am a Kendrick fan. I am a newer one. I started listening last year. I think. Yes, last year. Because of my brother. Because my brother loves him. and listen to him all the time. And so I've heard quite a few of Kendrick songs because of my brother beforehand. Then also because of Rihanna, SZA, Beyonce. Like, I listen to him. And I was trying to branch out, so I started listening. Obsessed. I really think he is one of the best, not one of the best, the best rapper right now. I know people like to be like, oh, Drake. No. I'm a Drake hater. I'm sorry, guys. Like, in my household, we don't like Drake. Because my brother fucking hates his ass, too. Like, there's just something. Kendrick's on a whole different level. And GNX, like, confirmed it for me. Like, especially the fact that he just randomly dropped a fucking album. Like, I know there were rumors about him dropping. Because, like, I remember there was a rumor about Taylor being on a track, and I got excited. And, of course, that did not happen. But I remember I was just kind of chilling in my room, hanging out with my dogs. And then my brother texted me and was like, Kendrick dropped a new album. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, and so, of course, I listened to it right away. And is it my favorite album released by Kendrick? No. Like, my favorite album by Kendrick is probably Section 80. I think that's my favorite. Or at least it's one of them. It's either Section 80 or Pimp a Butterfly. It's one of those. I'm pretty sure it's Section 80, though. I have to probably listen to it again, though, to make sure. But it is still a good album. It really was just, like, not like us as an album. That's what the vibe kind of gave to me. Because I remember listening to track 1. I was like, this is Not Like Us. Or this is similar to Not Like Us. Which I love Not Like Us. So addicting. Like, oh my gosh. You don't know the amount of times, like, over the summer, and still to this day, that my brother would just start, like, just blurt out, like, certified lover boy, certified pedophile, and we would, like, just, like, say that on repeat, and we'd like, pow, 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 pow. Like, we do that all the time. Like, we literally say that to each other all the time, because it's, like, so catchy. Just, like, out of the blue, we're walking by each other, and we just do it. And, like, now, we do it with Squabble Up, and shit like that. And, like, Reincarnated. Like, we just burst out into Kendrick songs, like, all the fucking time. It's great. And, like, it really just felt like Not Like Us as an album. Which I think was great and, like, was what needed to be done. Because it was still great and an incredible album. It kind of felt like not a mixtape. But it also kind of did. But not in a bad way. I just think Section 80 and, like, To Pimp a Butterfly and, like, those albums, like, were, like, not, like, placed better, just, like, flowed a bit better. And, like, it was a proper story. Like, these were as well, but, like, a little different. And I think having SZA on twice was incredible because SZA, I mean, is my girl forever. Love her to death. And she just makes me love the album even more. Like, the production, the lyrics, just his flow. He just knows how to make songs addicting. Like, how he says it. And, like, just everything. It's so good. Like, the amount of times I listen to this album is crazy. It's just that bitch. Like, the fact that Kendrick can, like, just randomly drop an album and then, like, make it number 1 with, like, no, not production, what's it called? Not promotion, no, why can I not think? No press, that's the word, no press. Like, he can really do that shit. And as he should. Like, let's be for real. Like, as he fucking should. Like, period. It's just, it's so good. Especially because I think about how, like, with Drake, even though I do not keep up with Drake, I only really know about, like, anything he's doing because of Kendrick and, like, just the drama there. But I remember with his last album, I I don't even know what his last album was called. I think his last album had Rich Baby Daddy, or not. Is it? I don't even know if that's the song title. But, like, I'm pretty sure that his last album was that Drawing of That Weird Thingy. I don't know. Clearly, I don't keep up with him enough to know. But with that, I know he did a lot of press for it. And I don't even know how well it did. But, like, with Kendrick, he doesn't. He did that. He dropped it. Kind of stayed silent. Now is going on tour with SZA, which I better be getting tickets. Like, I know tickets are out. I haven't gotten them yet. But I hopefully will be. Because I really want to go. But yeah, like, this album, it was a great album to, like, close the year. Because, like, all my faves dropped. Albums I just wanted him to. And we got it. And it was great. And it just showed, like, how he is really the best rapper right now. Okay. Next one we need to talk about. Of course, when you talk about 2024, not only do you have to talk about Espresso and Sabrina, you have to talk about Brat. Come on now. What can we say? It is a Brat summer. Or not anymore. It was a Brat summer. It really was. Like this, like, with 2024 being Sabrina's year, it was also Charlie XCX's year. And also Chapel's as well. But she didn't release an album. It's like, damn. Like, Brat really was a moment. And I think it was because we haven't, like, we have all this depressing music, and, like, that's why I think Short and Sweet did well as well. We're getting, like, all this deep music, which we need, but it's so depressing. And I think with Brat, like, it's just fun. But then the reason it did well is not only because it's fun. The lyrics actually, like, mean something. It's not just random shit people are just saying. You know? Like, a lot of, like, dance pop records, they were just saying random shit that doesn't make any sense. She's saying shit and actually means something. And it's actually, like, meaning behind it. Like, for example, Girl's So Confusing. When you first listen to the song, and if you're not paying attention to the lyrics and just the beat, you're like, oh, this is fun. But then when you look back and you're like, oh, there's actually a story to it. And that's why I love Charlie. Like, there's something there. It's not just like, oh, fun, woo. It's like, there is something. And I think that's why it did so well. Like, it was fun. We don't have a lot of, like, dance pop stuff like this, electronic, going on, that actually means something. It's usually just, like, and just them saying gibberish that doesn't really mean anything. Like, she did the damn thing. It became a moment. It's fun. She dropped Brat, then made a deluxe, and then started doing remixes with Lord, which was everything because they literally look alike, which was probably the point. Then with Troy and Billy, like, oh my gosh, Guess with Billy, crazy. Like, the way Billy, like, sounds in it, like, she's so hot. Like, I'm sorry, but she is, like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Like, and then after that, she dropped a whole, like, collab album. Oh, and speaking of collab, she did one with Addison beforehand. But, like, the fact that she dropped a whole collab album is crazy. Like, we have not had something like that in a while. Like, this is, like, with albums, and I think I've talked about this, the rollouts have not been as good, and, like, they kind of just move on quickly from an album and be like, oh, here's a new project. Charlie is really doing the damn thing. Like, drop the album, then a deluxe, then is on tour, drops a collab, and then carries on. You know, she's doing the right thing, because she knows Brad is a moment. Like, we see how well, like, Apple did on TikTok because of the dance and everything. Like, she saw her opportunity, and she took it. And I think Brat's going to win a couple Grammys. I know a lot of people think it's going to win Album of the Year. Do I think it's going to? Maybe. I don't know. Here's the thing. I wouldn't be against it because I do love Brat, but I would rather, obviously, Hit Me Hard and Soft win, but I could see it specifically because it was such a moment. But I do see her taking some. I don't know if it's going to be the main ones. Because I know I talked about this in my Grammy episode, or at least I think I did. It's like, when I listened to Brat for the first time, I remember talking to my brother, because he did as well, and because he loves it too. And we were talking about how we didn't think Charlie was going to get nominated. Because when I listened to it, it was before Brat became this whole thing. It was, like, before Brat Summer started and, like, was really blowing up. And we talked about how Grammys, like, don't really give light to that kind of music, like the dance pop and electronic. So we didn't think she was going to get nominated for, like, any of the main awards. We thought, like, dance record, like, electronic, she was good, but we didn't think the main ones. And of course, I'm so beyond thrilled she did, because it blew up, and as it should. It was so good. And it makes me think that her last album before this, Crash, should get its flowers as well, because that album is so good. It's, like, so addicting. I still listen to it all the time. It's so good. Like, oh my gosh. Like, this, like, Brad alone just proves it was really a good year in music, because damn. How many, what album have I been on? So I talked about Short and Sweet, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Eternal Sunshine, DNX, Brad, Torch Poets. I don't know what else. I mean, I'll give some honorable mentions. I meant to do 5, but I did want to bring up Tortured Poets just because, like, I want to say my opinions on it. So for honorable mentions of, like, some albums I loved this year, because I only wanted to do 5. We have Cowboy Carter. Loved it. Is it my favorite Beyonce album? No. But I do love it. It was a moment. It, like, was great for country music. Do I love it more than Renaissance? I don't think so. But it's a moment. It's great. I'm expecting it to win country album. Or, like, some awards with country at the Grammys. Do I think it's going to win album of the year? No. Would I be against it? No. Even though I want other ones to win over it, I wouldn't be against it, because she's overdue for album of the year. There. But, and also her performance on Christmas, incredible, show-stopping. She is a performer, what can I say? Like, you know. Another honorable mention. Okay, SOS Deluxe. This would be on there. I probably would have talked about it if I went more. Or, like, I did more, obviously, because it's an honorable mention. And also because it's a deluxe. So I don't know if this necessarily counts. But it was like 10 songs. Or was it 10 or 15? How many was there? Let me check, because I was listening to it this morning when I was working out. Okay, yeah, 15 new songs. So it is basically like an album. One thing about SZA, she can do no wrong with music. Like, she is incredible. And she just, her voice, her flow, is just like everything. She knows how to make songs addicting. I am pissed off that it took so long for this album to drop, because she's been hinting at it for a very long time. And I think if she dropped it earlier, she could be nominated for Grammys, and we could finally get redemption for SOS not winning out of the year, which I'm pissed off about. But I think it's going to win next year. It's doing really well. It's great. I mean, SZA, it's SZA. What can I say? Like, I'm literally obsessed with that woman. She's incredible. Like, oh my gosh. I think my last honorable mention I'll talk about is Guts Spilled, because that's also a deluxe, and I want to talk about it because So American is so fucking addicting. Like, that is my shit. Especially the fact that it's the first, like, love song we got from Olivia. Like, damn. Like, damn. Like, girlie is in love, and I couldn't be happier for her. But, like, it was so good. Like, such a good deluxe. And I like how there were no features on it, and she's not featured, like, or had an artist feature on any of her songs yet. Like, I think that's so good. Like, of course, I'm not against it, but I think that's really cool that she stuck with it. And, like, all the songs on there are so good. Like, Scared of My Guitar, so good. Like, Girl I've Always Been, Stranger, Obsessed. Like, they're all so good. Like, Olivia knows what she's doing, and I'm expecting an album this year from her. I think. Because it's been 2 years. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, I just thought of one more I want to talk about, though. The Secret of Us, Gracie Abrams, as an honorable mention. It's so good. It really is. Like, I think it helps that Aaron produced it, because Aaron knows how to produce. He does. And I think Gracie, like, here's the thing. I like her debut more. 100%. Like, not 100, but, like, I do like her debut more. Like, I know some people like The Secret of Us more. I personally like Good Riddance more. Like, hey, you can hate me all you want. But there's something about the songs The Secret of Us. Like, for example, I Love You, I'm Sorry, Addicting Is How, her performances of it hit different. That's So True is, like, pure crack. And I'm so happy she put the deluxe out. So good. Risk. Oh my gosh, Close to You we finally got. Like, she really did the damn thing. And I'm so happy for her. Because I've been a fan since, like, 2021. So, like, I'm so happy for her that she's finally getting her flowers. But I can't, like, deny that I'm shocked that she didn't get nominated for, like, a Grammy. Like, no, here's the thing, she did, but it was with Taylor. I was kind of expecting her to be nominated for, like, something. But, like, it's fine. Because it was such a big year in music, you know. Like, I'm not surprised. But, yeah. So, those are my albums. Mentions. I might throw out right now, like, a couple of my favorite songs released this year that were, like, not a part of an album. Just throw them out. So, we have Good Luck Babe, Chapel Roan, Pure Crack, literally insane. It's Okay, I'm Okay by Tate, and Two Hands. Specifically Two Hands. There is something in that damn song that is crazy to me. It's Okay, I'm Okay as well. Like, I cannot stop listening to that. But Two Hands is so addicting. It's actually insane. This kind of goes with Short and Sweet, but it's not officially on it. It's on, like, the exclusive deluxe version. Busy Woman by Sabrina Carpenter. She needs to release that on streaming platforms right now because it is, like, one of my favorites. Like, literally. So good. Like, it's literally incredible. What else? Angel of My Dreams by Jade. I mean, I'm a little mixed girly forever, like, till death. So, like, no surprise here. But, like, that song is so good. Like, so good. Such a good debut. It's, like, so addicting. Like, the beat, the lyrics, that they actually mean something. Like, what she was talking about, the music video. Like, everything about it was so good. Like, holy shit. Like, so good. Insane. Okay, anyways. So, that's my music. That was fun. Okay, so now with shows. We're gonna do 5, because that's what I plan on doing for music. But then I had to talk about Tortured Poets. So, again, like I said before, like at the beginning of this episode, these are shows I watched this year. They're not shows that, like, have come out this year. Like, some of them have, or seasons. And some of them are just seasons that I watched this year. Okay, so number 1, of course, I have to talk about this as my number 1 because it is. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. It is my number 1 show I watched this year, and it's The Rookie. So technically, I started The Rookie like 2 days before the new year, but I was like literally not like into it yet because that's the show. When I said I didn't start the new year or 2024 crying over show, it's because I was like on episode 7 or something of The Rookie, so I wasn't really into it yet. I hadn't had time to cry. Little did I know, a couple weeks later I was going to be bawling my ass out over the show. So, like, with The Rookie, I kind of went into it blind-ish because it wasn't on my list for a while. Like, I added it fall of 2023, I'm pretty sure, or around then, because Chenford was popping up all over my Instagram. Like, I had a lot of mutuals who watched the show and were editing them, and I was like, okay, you know, I'll give it a shot. And after I finished Game of Thrones, like, I was excited to, like, get back into a show because I liked Game of Thrones, but it wasn't, like, I wasn't as into it as I am with a lot of shows. So I was ready for, like, The Rookie and, like, to start a new show. Little did I know that this show was going to literally take over my damn life. Like, I'm so serious. Like, I remember I started and I was, like, excited to start a new show. And people were like, oh my gosh, keep me updated. Like, you're going to love it. I was like, okay, cool. And I was watching it for Chenford. First of all, when I started, I did not realize they were a slow burn until a couple days later. Or, like, I was a couple episodes in when I realized. And I was like, oh, shit. And here's the thing. I don't have anything against slow burns. But it was a bit too slow. Like, it took 5 fucking seasons. Which was fine because I binged it in, like, a couple weeks. So, like, it worked out in my favor because I didn't have to wait, like, years like you guys did. But, like, so, like, that, I literally had no idea what I was getting myself into. So I started, I was like, okay, cool. And, like, I knew I was gonna love them because I already shipped them before I started the show. But I didn't know it was gonna get this bad. Like, they are in my top 5 ships of all time now. I'm, like, so serious. And my top 4 ships are pretty solid, but they could crack it. Chenford, 100%. This season, they could fucking crack it, because it comes back in a week. And it's literally all I can think about. And that damn trailer that I'm waiting for to drop. And it might be dropping right now, because I know it's a week away, so most likely they're dropping it today. I don't know, but they're close to cracking my top 4, and they 100% could this season, which is crazy because I literally didn't think I was gonna love the show as much as I did. It literally was insane. Oh my gosh. And, like, if you told me how into it I was gonna get, I would not believe you. And how season 6 was gonna fuck up my entire year, basically, and Chenford was gonna be my whole personality for the year, I would not believe you. Because, like, here's the thing. I had the time of my life watching the show. And I'm going to again. Like, are you kidding? But season 6 fucked me up so much. And I've talked about it on here. Because I did, like, my Chenford rant episode. Or my 2 Chenford rant episodes. And my season 7 theory episode a while ago. But I remember I did one for Chenford. My first Chenford rant after episode 4. When we were kind of... we weren't having angst yet, but I knew we were getting there, to then, after they broke up, which I'm still scarred by, because, like, I remember I did an episode after that, and I was literally crying during it, to that, and, like, I had so much fun watching season 6, but they fucked me up completely, because, like, I was so excited for the new season, first of all, because I didn't have to wait as long as some of you guys did. I was, like, so excited. I was like, okay, let's go. Like, we're finally getting them together. And, like, we started off, like, episode 1 with angst. And I was kind of like, like, okay. Then we were finding our footing. And then angst. Again, and here's the thing. I like angst to a point. Not when they break them up. And, like, gosh. It's like, I'm thinking about it right now. They really did fuck my life up. So I remember I have a picture on my Snapchat. I have 2. Because, like, my best friend, I've talked about this on here, but my best friend, like, she likes to see my reactions to things. So she's like, okay, if you cry or you're freaking out over a show, like, take a picture and give me context. And then, like, send it to me or show it to me. And I'm like, okay. And so I took one before the episode because I said something about angst and how excited I was. And how nervous I was for the episode because I knew we were getting angst, but I assumed it was going to get resolved. And then, so you see that one and see me, like, excited and nervous, and then you swipe, and then there's me bawling my eyes out because they fucking broke up. It's like, damn, I really can't have anything. Like, I'm so serious when I say, if I knew how badly the show was going to affect me, and, like, how it was going to be my personality and take over my life, I maybe would have waited to watch it. I, like, say that, but then I'm also like, no, because I have so much fun, and I'm so excited for next week. Like, I'm gonna have the time of my life, especially because, like, I don't have school, and I'm still on break for a bit. So, like, I can freak out, and, like, not have to worry about anything else. But it's also, like, I probably would have waited because it was not good. It's like, 8 months was too long. Way too long. It's like, I forget how much I love, like, okay, here's the thing, I technically don't, but, like, I always freak out when I see shit of them, but, like, I kind of, like, move on, and then I see an edit of them, and I'm all back to the brain rot of Chenford and, like, the buzz. It's like 2024 was that year for me with shows because of them. Like, the best decision I made was to watch the show. Because it's literally my favorite thing. Like, I got my mom to start it. And then she's on season 2. And I'm watching it with her. So, like, I'm getting the buzz still. I'm currently watching or rewatching season 5. I'm not rewatching the whole show. But I, like, started rewatching season 5 a couple days ago to get the buzz again. And to get ready for season 7. And also because I'm sad because I missed them. So I'm rewatching it right now. And, like, I'm most likely going to finish it before the new season. I got my therapist to watch it, like, or to start it. Like, I'm working my ass off because I need more people to talk to about it because it's so good. And, like, I know season 7's going to is literally going to kill me. Specifically because that damn clip of Chenford. And if you know what I'm talking about. Of them at the gala in episode 6 that we got. I did not think I was going to lose my mind so much over, like, a 5-second trailer. And not only me, it was all over my fucking Twitter, like, literally still. It was a week ago, it's all I can think about. And, like, I remember, like, I usually, like, love the holidays, and I do. Even though Christmas stresses me out for, like, personal reasons, like, I always get stressed out having everyone around because I'm just an anxious mess. But, like, Christmas is my favorite time. And, like, I usually love it. But I was looking for it to pass. Specifically because I'm ready for January 7th. I'm just ready. Even though it gets close, that means it's closer to, like, me going back to school and stuff. And, like, New Year. And I don't like how fast time is going. I'm ready for January 7th, bitch. I will be sad. Like, I'm so serious. Like, I did not think the show was going to take over my life. Like, I realized it. Or, like, I realized how into it I got during the Day of the Dead episode. Like, I was getting into it by then. Like, I knew that. But the Day of the Dead episode fucked me up so much. I remember I was literally screaming in my room, like, silently, because people were home and I didn't want to disturb them. But, like, you know what I mean. I was dying. I had chills, and I still do to this day. Like, I watched it a couple weeks ago with my mom because she watched it, and even she had chills. Like, she was screaming at me. She was, like, yelling at me, getting so upset, yelling why people are, like, they're so stupid, because she was calling Nolan stupid for some reason. But, like, she was so stressed, and I'm like, exactly. Like, that was the moment, watching that episode, I realized how into it I was, and, like, how Game of Thrones really wasn't it for me, because, like, I could not get as into it as I do with this type of shit. It's like, that was it. And then after that, I just got more and more into it, and then, of course, I started crying over the show, and then it was a fucking disaster. Yeah, so that's my number 1 for many reasons, clearly. Okay, now the rest of them aren't necessarily in order, but what I will say about shows this year, it really was my fucking year for shows. Like, it's always my year for shows. Like, I always go, not crazy, but, like, I always watch, like, a good amount of, like, new shows and, like, big shows. And by big shows, I mean shows more than, like, 4 seasons. And, like, have a good amount of episodes. Not, like, popular shows. I mean, like, big shows. That's what I mean by that. And, like, I always do, but some more than others. And this year reminded me a lot of 2019 and 2020 kind of combined, because that was my year as well. Like, 2019, I watched Pretty Little Liars, Vampire Diaries, Glee, and then 2020, let me think, what did I do? Yeah, The Originals, Fosters, and Gossip Girl. Like, those, like, that was my time. And this year kind of reminded me of that, because I did do a lot. So next one, 911. So I watched 911 over the summer, the beginning of the summer, because, like, it was, like, on my Twitter a lot, on my Instagram. Like, I know a lot of people who watch The Rookie watch 911 as well, because they're similar in ways. And I was seeing a lot about Buck and Eddie on my, like, social media, and also Bobby and Athena. That was like the main reason, because I'm friends with someone on Instagram, like a very talented editor, shout out to Nat, who is obsessed with them. And I was seeing edits of them. I'm like, okay, I need to watch the show. So I decided to watch it. I'm thrilled I did. I had so much fun. So much fun. Did I have as much fun as Rookie? Like, no. Like, none of the shows, like, hit the same as that one. But it was so much fun. It was emotional. Like, I got attached to the characters. Like, it's just... I just love shows that I get, like, really, really into. That, I get mad and I'm, like, silently yelling. Or if I'm alone, I'll, like, full out yell if no one's at the house. It's, like, those are my type of shows. Like, I love getting into it. And, like, I know I love the show when I'm doing that type of thing. And I started doing that with 911 pretty fast. Like, I got into it pretty quickly. So good. The characters, I'm obsessed with them. The ships, like, Bobby and Athena are my parents. They're, like, I'm their child. Like, I adore them with my whole entire heart. Buck and Eddie need to get together. I'm really fucking sick of waiting, like, 8 seasons and we're still not there. Like, Maddie, why can't I think of his name? Why can I not think of that man's name? What the hell? One second. I need to look this up because I love them, but I cannot think of his fucking name. Howie. Okay, yeah. So, like, them together, incredible. Like, Maddie's storyline with her ex-husband and then her depression, like, that had me in tears. It was done so well. Eddie and his kid, like, oh my gosh, like, so good. Buck storyline with sexuality and, like, him coming out, and, like, in season 7 had me sobbing. Like, I love this show so much. I love season 8 right now. I'm so mad that it's not coming back until March, but then I'm okay because it kept me sane during, like, the fall when it was airing, because the Rookie wasn't coming back until January, and now I have the Rookie to keep me sane until 911 comes back as well, and then I'll have both of them and I'll have, like, the best time ever. Like, are you kidding? And thankfully they're not on the same day, so I have time to, like, digest everything. And yeah, I love the show. Like, it's so good. And, like, I mean, Angela Bassett, the icon she is, like, come on now. And, like, I'm happy I watched it because, like, it reminds me of The Rookie. Like, do I love it as much as The Rookie? No. But it reminds me of it and kind of gave me that, like, what I needed when, like, it wasn't airing. You know? Because I need some of that. So, yeah. Great show. Loved it. I did watch the spinoff. And, like, I know it's ending this year. Or, yeah, it has, like, 3 episodes left or something. It's good. Not as good as 911. And usually spinoffs aren't as good. They're, like, some. Like, for example, the originals. That's on Vampire Diaries level. But most spinoffs aren't as good as the original. Okay. Another show. Smallville. So, I did watch Smallville. It took me a couple months. Actually, not a couple. It took me a while. Like, majority of the year, because it is 10 seasons, and also because it pissed me off so much I didn't want to watch it for a bit, and, like, I kept having to take small breaks. But of course, like, Smallville, Superman, you know, like, you get the gist, like, you know what it is. And the reason I started it was because, again, of an editor, and it was not on my, actually, I think it was on my list, but it wasn't, like, top until this editor I followed, who's incredible, was, like, is a huge Clark and Lana shipper, and, like, is basically the captain of the ship. And I remember seeing her edits, and they were so insane, and they made me fall in love with them. And I was like, okay, like, you know, I need to watch the show, like, because I'm already so obsessed with Lana and Clark, like, I just need to watch it. And then I did. They took Slow Burn to a whole fucking nother level. I'm so serious. I thought Clark and Lana were gonna get together in season 1. No. Then season 2. They did for, like, a fucking episode. And then, like, no. And, like, they kept going back and forth. And then I finally got them. And you know what I'm talking about if you watch the show. In episode 12 of season 5, they got... Okay, I'm not going to say because of spoilers. But, like, you know what happened. And then it was fake. You know? And they broke up. And then she fucking married that man. And it, like, fucking killed me. And that's why I had to take a break from the show for, like, a week. Because I was so pissed off that it actually happened. Like, that man is such a manipulator. And, like, then they got back together and I thought we were good. And then she fucking left the show. And, like, here's the thing. At the end of it, I was fine because I also did ship Clark and Lois. And I love Lois so much. And I love Clark and Lois together. So I was fine at the end of it because, yes, I didn't get that endgame, but I got another one. So I was fine. And to be honest, I don't know who I ship more. I think I might actually ship Clark and Lois a bit more now. So, like, I was fine with that. And I know most people, like are aware of Superman and know that Clark and Lois end up together usually. Personally, I was not, because I don't keep up with superheroes like that. Like, I watch Marvel, but other than that, I don't. So I didn't really know. Like, I'm so serious. When I started Smallville, I don't think I knew that it was about Superman. Like, I didn't. Until, like, I started, I was like, oh, okay, so that's where it's going. So I didn't know where, like, the ending was, and, like, if they were going to end up together. And, like, I was panicking. So, like, here's the thing. You don't know what not Smallville. You don't know what slow burn is until you watch Smallville. Because we have Clark and Lana, who took fucking ages. And then you have Clark and Lois, who also took fucking ages. My gosh. And I feel like I needed to watch Smallville for many reasons. But especially because, like, it was an old, not an old, but it's like a 2000s teen drama, which is, like, a must. Like, always, because it just brings me the nostalgia that I need. And just remind me of the good days of TV. Because, like, teen dramas, like I said, aren't hitting the same anymore. So I needed that. And, like, speaking of teen dramas, the next show I'm going to talk about that I watched this year is Dawson's Creek. Which, oh my gosh, that show fucking killed me because Dawson is the most annoying person on the planet. Literally one of my least favorite characters of all time. Like, 4 episodes in, I realized how much I hated that man. I was sitting there, I'm like, okay, he's a fucking piece of shit. And just him and Joey were pissing me off because here's the thing, I knew about Joey and Pacey. Of course I knew about them because they are the blueprint of everything and everyone's obsessed with them. Like, I knew it. You know, like, yeah. But I didn't know it took them so long to get together. And it did, I mean, to be fair, it was only 4 seasons. But then they did, and even before they did, like, the Joey and Dawson thing back and forth with Jen, it was like, oh my gosh, just give me a, like, break. Like, you both deserve so much better than that piece of shit. And then Joey and Pacey got together, and I was happy, and Dawson was being a piece of shit again. Like, he always is, having a meltdown. And then they broke up, and then Joey and Dawson, like, kind of do, like, this thing again. Like, they really had me stressing more than I should. Like, I was so nervous that they weren't going to be endgame. It's, like, a miracle that Joey and Pacey were. Like, oh my gosh. Like, I get why people get so pissed off by the show. Like, yes, it's one of, like, the blueprint shows of teen drama, and Joey and Pacey are the blueprint for ships. But Dawson is, like, the most annoying person on the planet. Like, you can't. It's, like, so annoying. Okay. Another show. Okay, now, because, like, I went past 5. Or did I go past 5? No, I'm on 4. Oh, or I'm on 5 now. Okay, yeah. So, right now, I am currently watching Gilmore Girls. I've been watching for a couple months now. I'm on season 5. I think episode 15. So I just made it past the lovely Lorelai and Luke issue thing at the wedding. Safe to say I'm not doing well. So, like, I started Gilmore Girls for many reasons, but specifically because fall, everyone talked about it, and I've been wanting to watch it for a while. And so, like, I did, you know, I was like, okay, cool. And then I fell so deeply in love with Luke and Lorelai in, like, season 2. The very beginning of season 2. Like, season 1, I was shipping them, and I was like, okay, yeah. But season 2, something happened, hit me like truck. I'm head over heels in love with them. I've been waiting for them to get together, and they are ruining my life right now. I literally watched episode 13 and 14 last night, and I was literally screaming in my room wanting to die, because you're telling me I waited 5 fucking seasons for this. Okay, to be fair, I feel worse for the people who actually waited years for this, but still, 5 seasons, and then they do this to me. Like, I love Emily so much, I do, but she is pissing me off right now. And Chris is such a piece of shit. I'm sorry, but he is. It's like Luke had every right at that wedding to go off on him like that. Like, Chris might be the father, but Luke's the dad. Like, let's be real. And Lorelai's so happy with him, and they're fucking up my entire life. Like, they better get fucking back together. I'm so serious. Like, I'm gonna watch it, like episode 15 later. And they better be getting back together soon, because I'm unwell. But anyways, I needed to rant about that, because I'm really pissed off right now. Clearly, because it's fresh. The wounds are fresh, and I'm not doing well. But with the show, like, it's such a cute show. And, like, of course, it pisses me off, stresses me out, like any teen drama, and, like, that's what I love about it. But it's just so nostalgic, even though I'm watching it for the first time now, and just gives cozy vibes, which is why I started it, like, when I did. When did I even start it? Like, September? Sometime in September? Or maybe before. I actually don't remember. I know I've been watching it for a couple months now, but I started it because fall was coming. It's a perfect fall show, and I'm hoping to finish it soon, because I'm on break, and so I think I can. But, like, there's something about it. It's just so comforting, even though it's really stressing me out and pissing me off. It's so comforting. It's just, I get why everyone loves it so much. And I'm happy I'm watching, like, these iconic shows right now, or, like, these big teen dramas, because that's my type of shit. And I always enjoy them. And, like, everyone's pissing me off right now. Like, Rory is on my last nerve right now, but I'm having a great time. And hopefully I'll finish it soon. And hopefully Lorelai and Luke will not be the fucking death of me. And Emily will get on my good side again. You know? Okay. Another big show I watched this year was Jane the Virgin. So I watched that at the end of summer. So 911 was at the beginning of summer. Jane the Virgin was at the end of the summer. I watched it because it was a drama. It was popular. It's been on my list for a very, very long time, including Gilmore Girls. Like, those two have been on my list for a while now. And so I was like, okay, you know, why not give it a shot? Because I know, like, a couple people watched it, loved it. I know it did very well. And it's, like, it's long, but it's not, like, crazy, like, 8 seasons or something. It's just 5. And, like, also I heard it's drama, but it's also, like, kind of comedy. So I thought it would be good to kind of have a break from, like, the really drama and have some fun. So I decided to watch it. I had a great time. Completely different than what I thought. Because I was expecting drama, but comedy, but, like, not, like, as dramatic as they made it and as crazy as they made it. Like, I was so thrown off first episode when that man died. I remember, I was like, okay, so, like, this is where we're going. This is what we're doing. Cool. Great. Glad to hear it. Like, that threw me off so much, and that's when I realized, like, okay, I'm gonna have so much fun. So much fun watching this. And I did. Like, I had so much fun. I'm Team Raphael. So, like, I know a lot of people are team, what's his name? Michael. I don't know why I forgot for a second. Which I get. Like, they were cute too, but I'm personally Team Raphael. Also, guys, remember I separate the character from the actor, because I know what's going on with the actor of Raphael right now with Blake Lively, so it does not mean I like him. But, so I'm Team Raphael through and through. Very happy I am, because I have been since day one. Since season 1. Like, I've been shipping them since season 1. And I'm so happy I did, because I was so worried that I was not going to win. And I was like, okay, here comes another ship that fucking hates to see me, and I'm going to lose. Like, I really thought I was when I was in season 3, and then the thing happened with Michael, and then I was like, okay, we're kind of back, but like kind of not, and I was like, okay, maybe let's not do it, which, let me just say, that threw me off so much. I remember being in my room watching it, and I froze. I was like, oh my gosh. So this is that scene. Because I seen the scene of Jane holding her phone and dropping it and screaming. I just never knew the context of it. I was like, okay, so that's what it was. I didn't know what I thought it was before, to be fair. It's like, okay, cool. Great. So we're fucked, basically. And I thought after that, I still wasn't going to get my end game just because she was going to be mourning and everything. And then we're finally getting there. And then the whole Michael thing happened again, but different. And I was like, okay, shit. So I really came to terms with it, like, that I was not getting my end game, but I did. And I won. And it makes the show even better, the fact that I won, because I really did not think I was going to. But I just had so much fun watching this show. Even though it stressed me out, I had more fun than like stress, you know? And I always need that with shows. And I get why it's so popular. And I'm just so happy I got it off my list. It's always just like so much fun watching, but then I always get so happy when I like finish a show because I get to take it off my list. Especially shows that have been there on my list for so long, like Jane the Virgin. Like Jane the Virgin and Gilmore Girls were on my were like some of the first shows on my list. So I'm happy I'm like getting them out of the way. And it was great. So now, like, for honorable mentions of some stuff this year that I'll quickly go by, or, like, say, All-American Season 6. I mean, yeah, I've talked about it on here. I did episodes for Season 6. I really did enjoy the season. It gave me nostalgic of, like, Season 1. The ships were great. I had a great time. Got my endings. It was fun. Another one, Maxton High. I know it's a show. Not a show, a book. I have not read the books yet. I just watched the show because I was seeing the ship on my Instagram. The buzz is crazy. Their chemistry is great. I'm excited for season 2. Bridgerton season 3. The buzz is crazy. Penelope and Colin were insane. Their chemistry crazy. I remember dying every time they were on my screen. And then also anything with Kate and Anthony, even though they got like no screen time, screamed, cried. Season 2 is still my favorite though because of Kate and Anthony. Like, that is my Roman Empire. Adore them. But season 3, great. Cannot wait for season 4, even though it's going to be next year. So yeah, that's where I stand with shows. I'm probably forgetting some, but I talked about like the big shows I watched. So that's all I want to do. And I ranted about The Rookie, which is always exciting, and I really hope they fucking drop the trailer while I'm doing this. I'm not checking Twitter yet though while I'm doing this because I know I'm going to die if I see anything, and I'm waiting till I get in my room. Okay, so now with movies. Here's the thing, I'm behind as hell with movies, and like I don't really watch new stuff, so I'm only going to talk about one movie this year that came out this year because it is the only movie I can think about. It is the only thing in my head. And I bought it like 20 minutes before I started recording this. And that is Wicked. Movie of the year, movie of the fucking century. Let's be real. I knew I was going to like it because of Ariana. I just didn't think how much. Because going into it, I really knew nothing. Like, none of my family did. Because none of us have seen Wicked. We know it's like about Wizard of Oz. And I've seen Wizard of Oz. Not recently, because it creeped me out kind of as a child. And I just never went back. And I was going to watch it before I saw Wicked, but I forgot. I don't know why. Time got past me. But I remember I was going to like it. I assumed I was going to like it just because of Ariana. And, like, the trailer looked good. I was intrigued to see, like, everything. And I knew it was very popular on Broadway, obviously. Because I knew Defying Gravity because of Glee, but also I knew Popular because of Popular Song by Ariana. And then Glee came around and helped me with that. And so I got tickets for the day before opening night. Or like, yeah, I think. Yeah, I know it wasn't like the official. I think I got early screening or something. Because I went alone. which I don't go to movies alone. I don't go to movies, period, because, like, I don't know, I just don't. But, like, I went alone because my mom was at work. It was, like, 20% off, recliner seats, and I was like, I need to see it before everyone else does, because I don't want spoilers. Like, the least amount I can get. And so, like, going in, my expectations were high, but I was not expecting to love it as much as I did. I was bawling my eyes out in that theater, and thankfully no one was next to me. There was an empty seat, and I was in the corner, so I was, like, literally bawling my eyes out into my sweatshirt. Like, it was, like, I had chills from the moment it started. Like, Ariana really did the damn thing, proved why she got it, and Cynthia, oh my gosh, her voice is crazy. Like, I saw a TikTok comment that said, Cynthia's voice makes me feel like I can run through walls. 100%. 100%. That is how I feel when I listen to Defying Gravity and The Wizard and I. It's so good. It's crazy to me how insane her voice is, how insane Ariana, like, when I was watching it, I saw Ariana as Glinda, not, like, Ariana Grande. Like, of course, that's my baby girl, and I always see her as that. But, like, I saw her as just Glinda. Like, she really transformed into that character. And I know people were hesitant because she's a Ariana pop star. But she knows how to do it. Like, she is incredible. Incredible. And, like, my mom, she likes Ariana just fine. She thinks she's talented, but she, like, isn't crazy about her. Or she wasn't until she saw the movie and was like, yeah. And same with my dad. Like, my dad tends to think that people I like aren't, like, very talented, or at least some of them. And he literally said to me, like, I didn't think she was that talented. I just thought you liked her. And now I get it. I'm like, okay, first of all, you have to be deaf to not think Ariana's talented. You know? Like, her vocals have never been a question. But now, like, everyone's, like, realizing, okay, yeah, she deserves it. And, like, the fact she's, like, top contender for an Oscar right now for supporting actress is crazy. Like, that is my girl. I'm so proud of her. But, like, I remember watching that movie for the first time was, like, such an experience. I had chills all over my body. I would do anything to watch it for the first time again. Literally anything. I'm so serious. And that soundtrack is crazy. Like, Defying Gravity is becoming one of my most played songs of the year. Because I use Apple Music, it's not done yet, but I think it honestly could crack my top 5. Or at least my top 10. For sure my top 10. But, like, it's so good. Like, it's all I can play. Like, that damn soundtrack is literally going to be my most played album of December, I think. Because it's, like, since I saw it in November, all I can play. It's literally all I can think about. I'm so excited for Wicked Part 2. Especially because I'm hearing more. And I know stuff now. My mom and I did some research and we know stuff now. I have the book. I'm ready to read the book. It's like, even though I know it's crazy, it's so good. Like the casting was so perfect. Like, Cynthia's the perfect Alphaba. Incredible. Ariana was the perfect Glinda. Jonathan was the perfect Fiyero. Oh my gosh, that man is so attractive. Like, it's just so good. And, like, Kristen and Idina's little cameo was incredible because, of course, I watched it before, like, officially came out, so, like, no one talked about that. Like, I knew nothing. And I remember sitting in theater seeing it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy. I love how they did that. It's just, like, just talking about the movie makes me want to sob. Like, I literally want to see it again, and that is why I bought it. Like, I called my mom, like, right before I started recording this, and I was like, oh, by the way, like, I bought it on my Apple TV if you want to log in on your TV to watch it later. Because I know my mom is obsessed with it. It's like, all we can think about is this. And so I will most likely be watching it tonight to, like, relive it. Even though it's not going to be for the first time, I know it's going to be just as magical. Like, for some movies, or, like, okay, not some. This is how I know a movie's good. If right after it, I want to rewatch it. That's how I know a movie is that incredible. I'm so serious. After I watched it for the first time, I went on AMC to see when the next time I could see it was. Have I seen it again? No, because I've been busy with school and, like, that kind of got, like, all my attention. But I will be watching it, like, literally every day. That's the reason I rented it. Or, I mean, I bought it instead of renting it. First of all, because renting was $20, buying was $30. Made sense. But also, I literally want to watch it, like, every day of my life. Until further notice. And I will be. So, tonight, I will most likely be watching Gilmore Girls, Season 5 of The Rookie, and Wicked. That is how I'm starting the new year. And if you have not seen Wicked, highly recommend. Even if you don't like musicals, I think you'll like it. I mean, personally, I love musicals. My dad loves musicals. My mom does, my grandma does. And they've all seen it, and they've loved it. But I think even if you don't, you'll love it. It's just so good. So good. But yeah, that is it for movies. Because I've seen other ones, but, like, nothing tops that. And also, like, I haven't watched enough. So, I think I'm going to end the episode here. Because I've been ranting for an hour and a half about everything. So I'm sorry it's a long episode. But thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys have a great time celebrating the new year. Manifesting good things for this year. Because I really fucking need it after last year. So I'll see you guys in the new year for whatever comes.